And yours is like fireworks.
Yeah, I don't know. Just
4th of
something
July,
flashy. It also matches almost the color scheme of this book a little bit.
And I'm matching my book a little bit. Just the blue.
Oh, wow.
That's weird. It actually looks good.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Dillon.
And welcome to the show where we review books and their movie adaptations. One of us reads the book and then watches the movie. The other one watches the movie and then reads the book. And we give you our recommendations for which order gives you the best experience.
And today we are talking about The Great Gatsby. The Great Gatsby was published by F. Scott Fitzgerald in 1925. Nearly 100 years ago.
Wow, yeah.
Almost the 100-year anniversary. Fitzgerald was born in Minnesota in 1896, but was mostly raised in New York, where this novel takes place. It's narrated by Nick Carraway, who moves from the Midwest to New York for work and finds himself neighbors with a mysterious figure named Jay Gatsby. Gatsby hosts these huge parties in his mansion where people come from all over to indulge. And although everyone goes to these parties, nobody really knows Gatsby personally, so lots of rumors spread around. Meanwhile, Nick's cousin Daisy lives across the water from them with her husband, and Nick Carraway finds himself wrapped up in some drama, mostly as an observing bystander, between Jay Gatsby, his cousin Daisy, and Daisy's husband, Tom. So that is the plot of the book. There are lots of movie adaptations, but can you tell them which one we are doing?
Yeah, we're doing the most recent one from 2013, directed by Baz Luhrmann, and starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire, Carey Mulligan, Joel Edgerton, Elizabeth Debicki, Isla Fisher, and Jason Clarke. Pretty much all the characters, but you would recognize pretty much all of them.
Yeah, that's a star-studded cast.
And it follows the same plot as the book.
Yeah, pretty much spot on.
It is.
So I read the book first, and it was a reread for me because I had to read this in high school for English class, and for some reason you didn't have to read it.
No. Mm-mm.
You had a different English teacher than I did.
Yeah. I can't think of what specifically we might have read instead of this one. But
yeah, I just know a lot of high school English classes make you read The Great Gatsby. And unlike some things I had to read in school, I really enjoyed The Great Gatsby. And I still really enjoyed it. I loved the book, reading it. This was your first time. How did you feel about it?
And I know you had recommended it. Obviously, that's one of the reasons we're doing it here. I didn't really like it that much.
Really? The book?
The book.
But you watched the movie first.
I watched the movie
first.
How
did you feel about the movie?
I didn't like the movie that much.
Okay. Yeah. I'm afraid it might have ruined it for you because...
I think so.
I hate this movie. This is going to be my biggest split in opinion between the same story. Because I love this book and I hate the movie.
Yeah, I bet that's what it is. Yeah. Because it is true that almost the entire book I was not able to divorce myself from the movie. What the movie felt like and what it did. Because the movie is a very accurate recreation of the plot.
In terms of the events that happen.
The events that happen are almost exactly the same.
Very true.
And so that's why I wasn't able to split myself from the horrible experience I had watching the movie.
I had a bizarre feeling toward the end of watching the movie where, because it's so accurate to what happens, I found myself thinking, did I like this book?
Oh, wow.
Like, it was that bad that I was like, what did I like about the book? Because it's the same plot, but I hate it the way it's told here.
Yeah, and so one of the things about the book that's interesting is the part that I liked the most about the book is the very, very ending when it gives some... It actually almost like lays out some of the meaning of the book and some thoughts, right? About, staying stuck in the past and stuff like that. I was like, ooh, I like this. And it made me go, I think that I would have liked this book if I hadn't watched the movie first.
Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I really hate the movie. It's hard to talk about why because, the plot's the same, but it's all about the way they do it because... The book is pretty short, and it's like, I feel like it's gritty realism, And then the movie is like this long fantasy epic almost. Just the way the colors are.
But yeah, a weird, surprising amount of CG in this movie. Of like pulling away from the or zooming in. I don't even remember. In the beginning, they like zoom into the island or something, or not the island, but like on the coast.
Yeah, the eggs. They call it East Egg.
Yeah, yeah. And there's stuff like that that's like, why is this CG here? Why is this here? This is a movie. In reality, it's from 1925. What are you CGing?
Yeah. I feel like they were trying to show
it's like a certain style, like this grand,
the lavish lifestyle, because it's about rich people then and big parties, but it's supposed to be talking about like what's underneath that, and that it's kind of empty.
Yeah. And
so it doesn't work for me at all. It looks like the Chronicles of Narnia or like a Tim Burton movie. Almost.
Yeah, it emphasized the wrong things.
One that stands out to me is the first time he meets Gatsby, and it's like the music is crescendoing. And then the fireworks are going to be. Yeah, he turns around with the martini. Hello, old sport.
Yeah.
And it's like in the book, the same thing happens where he doesn't realize he's talking to him, but it's just like he's talking to him and he's like, oh, that's me. And Nick's like, oh, okay. And it's just totally flat, like understated.
Yeah.
So the movie is just totally bizarre to me. And it's a small thing to gripe on, but I don't like that they put modern music so heavily into the movie. Like the hip-hop music in it. I noticed at the end it says produced by Jay-Z.
Oh.
That's why there's so many Jay-Z songs in it. But it just kind of pops me out of the timeline.
Yeah, I agree.
Not jazz music.
Yeah.
So that's sad to me that you didn't like the book so
there's
much.
another part of it too where I think I still would have liked the book better. But again, just like one we just did 2 episodes ago, Love in the Time of Cholera, this is a similar of that same kind of a love story where a guy is holding on too long, to the past or to this thing like this. She rejected him and because he didn't have enough money. Yeah. He was poor or whatever. And then he tries to build it up. Obviously, he does it in a, shady way, that kind of a thing. And I know it's not the main message of it, but it still is like, come on with this storyline.
Yeah, I guess it's been told a lot.
Yeah.
At least this time it's clear that it's a tragedy.
Yeah.
And, it's not like they end up together, romantic ending. The good guy does get the girl in the end or something stupid like that. But yeah, I get that. But the book, I feel like for something that's considered classic literature, something that you can teach in a literature class, it's very entertaining because it's short, fast. There's like gossip, rumors. They're doing drugs. They're partying. There's crime. There's murder. It's like a lot of entertaining stuff in a classic, but the meaning's still there. And it's beautifully written. Just a lot of memorable lines to me. So great book that I feel like Baz Luhrmann just destroyed with that movie. And it's a shame because the cast is so good. Yeah. I like all those actors usually.
Yeah, I know. It was very flat from all of them. That's the thing. It's like I didn't feel like I cared about the characters the way they were there on the screen.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say about the movie is that I already mentioned the book is short, gritty realism. The movie feels like a long fantasy thing. And I feel like they still left some things out, even though it's so long. I would have liked to see more of the relationship between Nick and Jordan. And also, toward the end, after Gatsby dies, in the book, his father shows up.
Yeah.
And Nick gets to talk to his father and learn more about him.
Mm-hmm.
And even the guy with the glasses from the library at the parties, he shows up at the funeral when like nobody else goes.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of like those interesting details that they left out of this movie.
I did, yeah. I did write that down too. That I did like it from that point where it diverged. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
And that's the very ending.
Yeah, it's the very ending.
Uh-huh. The change that seems strange to me in the movie is also that it's kind of in the future. Nick Carraway in a mental hospital or something writing
like he
story.
had a breakdown and his therapist is telling him he's got to write the story or something, right? Something like that.
It's because I guess they wanted to set up a way for why is he narrating the story, because they don't want, I don't know, old books are written in a narrative style that they don't really do in movies these days. So, but yeah, it's just strange. He's like talking to the therapist and he doesn't want to say it. So the therapist's like, why don't you try writing it down or something like that. And even by the end, it's like a book.
Yeah.
He like types it and he writes Gatsby on it. And then he writes The Great Gatsby. That's just bizarre to me. So it seems like we kind of agree on the movie, and just unfortunately, this maybe ruined the book for you, which is kind of like what happened when we first started this show. You recommended the movie Under the Skin.
Yeah.
And I decided to read the book first, and that made me dislike the movie a bit. So that's bound to happen with this experiment we're doing, but are we ready to reveal our scores now?
Yes.
Okay. I read the book first, and I give it a 9.4.
Whoa!
Absolutely love it. It deserves to be a classic. The movie I hate, I give it a 1.5.
Holy! Well, that's certainly the biggest gap.
Yeah, the biggest gap.
A single person, one person's scores for two things.
Yeah, this is my lowest rated thing, maybe my highest rated thing now. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to bring both of those a little more towards the middle, actually.
Okay.
So I watched the movie first. I gave it a 5.6.
Okay.
And then I read the book, gave it a 6.1.
Oh, they're so close to each other for you.
I know. Well, they are. I mean, they are close. I mean, I didn't like it, and the book notched up a little bit because it changed at the end, and I liked it enough a little bit more. But because I couldn't split the two for most of it, it's very close. I
guess I get it. Like, I've had that with a lot of the things we've done where I watch the movie and then I read the book and I'm like, oh yeah, the book's a little bit better, but it's kind of the same story.
That's what I feel about these.
That's crazy to me because this one I like love it and the movie I hate it. But let's combine those to give a more rational score to the audience. Yeah, it looks like the combined score for the book is a 7.75.
Yeah, so that's actually still sort of high. It's close to an 8. You know, it's getting up in there.
You pulled mine down, but that's a solid score for a book. But the movie...
3.55.
3.55.
Very
That's
low.
Bad.
That's bad. That's bad.
That is bad. Well, let's see what the critics think. Over on Goodreads, the average reader score for The Great Gatsby book is 3.93 out of 5.
Yeah, that's a 7.86, something like that.
A little higher than what we
gave it. A little bit higher, but
I would say on the money. I would say
properly rated as far as the book goes.
We could say the book is properly rated. The movie by Baz Luhrmann on Rotten Tomatoes has a 48% by the critics and a 67% by the audience.
So we're saying that's overrated.
Yeah.
Movie's quite a bit overrated, even with that 48% from the critics.
Yeah, we give it a 3.55, so even a 48 is overrated in our opinion. Okay, book properly, movie overrated.
But what are we going to tell you should do? What is our recommendation for this order that's going to give you the best experience here?
Obviously, I'm going to say read the book only. Read the book. Okay. It's fantastic. Skip the movie. It's terrible. I'm interested to hear what you say, though.
I'm going to say read the book first. Okay. I'm going to say you could watch the movie also. I know you didn't like it after reading the book, but because I thought they were both sort of the same, I'm going to say you can watch the movie. Read the book and then watch the movie.
Okay, but we agree read the book first.
Yes, we agree read the book first.
So read the book first. That's good. Okay, and now let's see where both of these land on our overall rankings, because we have a difference between where these are going to land. Out of 42 total things, it looks like the
book comes up here in like the top third. Definitely number 12.
12 out of 42 things is good.
Yeah.
It's below
Bullet Train, the book,
and right
above the Prestige movie.
And those are both good. Okay.
And then the movie, The Great Gatsby, all the way down at the bottom.
The very bottom.
Number 42. And not really even close to Interview with a Vampire. More than a full point below it. Below the Interview with a Vampire book. So, I know I just said that you could watch this movie, but
I pulled that down a lot.
You pulled this one way down.
And I like where this is rated because I did not like the Interview with the Vampire book, but I would rather reread that than watch the movie. I would. That long book?
Well, I would too. I rated that.
Yeah, you had it like a
7.7.
Pretty good.
So
yeah, I mean, I wish The Great Gatsby was higher on our overall list, the book, but that's why we'll have our individual rated lists at the end of the season.
Yeah, and if you need something else to read, we got a few books. Check out the links in the comments.
Yeah.
And what do we got coming up next month?
Next month, we are doing a Stephen King story that was recommended to us in the comments.
That's right.
I had actually not heard of this one, but
this one was on my reading list, but I bumped it up.
Yeah, so thank you for the recommendation. The book we're talking about is called The Dark Half by Stephen King and a movie adaptation of that. So tune in for that. And as for The Great Gatsby, viewer, you tell me, which is better, the book or the movie?
Let us know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends to tune in too.
You can click another video now. Thank you. Bye.